On the website of the Crime Bureau of India is posted a crime clock. The clock states that in India, one rape is committed every 29 minutes. The clock never stops ticking, nor do the rapes.
This is a true illustration. A girl was brought from a village to a city for domestic work. She was sold to a brothel. She was recovered during a raid on the brothel. On medical examination, it was found that she had been physically tortured and her genitalia had been dilated with tampons to adjust to disproportionate male organ. She also showed old healed hymen and tears in the vaginal wall. She was tested positive for gonorrhea and semen traces were also recovered from stains. An age determination test corroborated she was just 12 years.
The crime clock on the website also reveals that a case of sexual trafficking is registered every 40 minutes. A young girl is imported for commercial sexual exploitation every fourth day. It is the beginning of repeated sexual assaults on the adolescent. The number of sexual assaults on her rise with every passing hour. Social scientists make 4 points. The statistics reported by the Crime Bureau are just the tip of the iceberg. Owing to guilt, shame, cultural compulsions and poor knowledge of law, very few cases of sexual abuse are disclosed and reported in our country. It is a fact that both rape and sexual trafficking cases are on the rise. In our land, conviction rate of rapists and sexual criminals is very low. Varying from state to state, only 20 to 30% of the accused get convicted and punished. There is a relationship between conviction rate and sexual crimes. Higher conviction rate can help in the prevention of sexual crimes and trafficking. Doctors are the most crucial link in raising the conviction rate. In all the sexual abuse cases in the court of law, the evidence collected by the doctors through medical examination of the rape victim, the age determination test, and the medico-legal report play a key role in deciding whether the offender will get convicted or not.
All of us are clear that to prevent rape and immoral sexual trafficking, the conviction rate must be raised. In our country today, the right legislation is in place. What is needed is medical evidence that goes in favor of the victim in the court of law. As the nodal agency for controlling trafficking, Indian Medical Association is committed to raise the conviction rate and to get justice to the rape victims. Indian Medical Association's approach is bilateral. It is seeking the government support to establish rape crisis centers in the entire country. At the same time, it has taken up steps to equip the medical officers with the skills required for providing accurate medical evidence. This film is a part of that process. Through this film, my colleagues here, Dr. Sunita Fotedar, Senior Specialist Department of Gynae, Swami Dayanand Hospital, Shahadra, Dr. Sangeeta Gupta, Head of the Department of Gynae, ESI Hospital, Basai Darapur, and Dr. Gaurav Agarwal, the former Assistant Professor, Vardhaman Mahavir Medical College and Safdarjung Hospital, will take you through the entire process of medical examination through a standard protocol to be followed throughout the country.
Standard Protocol for Medical Examination of Sexually Violated Adolescent Girls is a film presented by Department of Women and Child Development and Indian Medical Association. Elimination of sexual abuse and trafficking of women and children for sexual exploitation is a key priority area for the Department of Women and Child Development. The department is studying the problem in greater depth and collating data. It is building awareness in civil society and NGOs. It is advocating national legislation at par with international and regional instruments for eliminating trafficking. This film is a part of the larger goal of the department. The film will now instruct you on how to conduct a state-of-the-art examination of a young female sexual assault victim. It is divided into 4 parts: medical forensic examination with in-depth explanation, age determination, how to access technical support from Indian Medical Association, summary of forensic examination. The film has the following learning objectives: to introduce a standard kit with all the tools required for medical examination, to learn proper method of conducting the forensic history and physical examination, to learn proper evidence collection techniques, to learn the right procedures of age determination, to learn the prophylactic regimens to prevent disease and unwanted pregnancy, to know where to access technical information on forensic medical examination. This here is a standardized kit being demonstrated by the Indian Medical Association. The standard protocol for forensic examination consists of 14 steps. Accordingly, the kit contains a set of 14 packets. Each packet represents a particular step in the process of evidence collection. Therefore, the packet and the step carry the same label and number. This design of giving the same number to the packets and the steps will ensure that all evidence is discovered, collected and preserved without mistakes and without leaving out any important detail. In some cases, you may not need to use all the envelopes of the kit. For example, if no debris is found on the body surface, the packet of debris will not be used, and no specimen will be written across the label. In other situations, you may need extra supplies in the form of needles and oral swabs from the hospital stores. For successful forensic examination, you must do the following. Pay a thorough and close attention to details. Wear gloves at all times. Touching the victim, the kit, or its contents with bare hands may leave your DNA in the evidence. Wear powderless gloves if possible, since the powder may interfere with the laboratory examination. Moisten the speculum with warm water, not with lubricating jelly, as the jelly may interfere with forensic tests. Before the examining physician comes, let a trained nurse calm and reassure the young victim. Building rapport with the victim is crucial. Otherwise, the victim will be hesitant to talk, making her own case weak. Let her explain to the victim gently what the medical examination is all about and its importance for the trial. Remove her fears about the process she is going to go through. This is a very important and critical step. Let the paramedic staff give the victim undivided attention for a few minutes. The step 1 is to get the legal consent form signed. The doctor must take the legal consent before she begins the evaluation. Please explain to the victim what the consent is for, why the girl must sign it, and how it is going to help her get justice. Consent must be taken in the victim's native language.
Legal consent is a must in every type of medical legal case, be it a police referral, be it a direct request of the victim or her guardian for a medical examination, be it a rape case or a case of sexual trafficking for commercial sexual abuse.
It's important that the physicians and the paramedic staff's attitude be non-judgmental. It is a commonly held prejudice in our culture that the girls who get raped are the loose and bad sorts of girls who who invite it. Inquire within and make sure that this is not the attitude you or your staff holds. Such an attitude, if harbored and communicated, will create negative feelings and the victim will become uncooperative. Make sure that the examination meant to help the abused child doesn't itself become a source of distress for her. Second, as a physician, it is not your responsibility to determine whether a rape took place or not. Your responsibility is only to carefully examine the victim, collect the evidence, and document the findings. Never comment whether a rape has taken place or not. Rape is a legal term, and only a court of law can comment upon it.
बेटा अब मैं तुमसे कुछ सवाल पूछूंगी. पहले ये बताओ, ये हादसा कब हुआ?
Now the next step is to start filling the examining physician's report. The first page is a detailed history form. It is not all-inclusive, but covers most of the questions which need to be asked about the victim. At the bottom of the form is the section where the results of the examination for spermatozoa are recorded. It also has a page with a body diagram for sketching injuries such as contusions or lacerations. Be aware that some victims may not understand medical terms. It is sometimes necessary to describe body parts or specific sexual behavior.
तो ये हादसा तुम्हारे साथ कल रात 10 बजे हुआ. अब मुझे जरा सोच के बताओ कि उसने तुम्हारे साथ संभोग किया, मतलब अपना अंग तुम्हारे अंदर डाला.
Occasionally, it may be necessary to use more explicit or even slang terms to ensure the victim clearly understands the question.
उसने स्खलन भी किया. समझते हो इसका मतलब? पानी अंदर छोड़ना, उसने पानी छोड़ा.
Ejaculation may occur within the vagina during the assault. However, semen may be deposited on the victim's skin or clothing. Proper examination of all the three is necessary to not miss the evidence.
क्या तुमने उसके बाद कपड़े बदले? नहीं बदले. उसके बाद तुम नहाई हो? नहीं नहाई.
A common misconception is that douching or bathing eliminates the ability to collect evidence. Actually, seminal fluid will often be recovered from the vaginal and cervical mucus, even if douching or bathing has occurred.
ठीक है, अब तुम ये कपड़े उतारोगी, क्योंकि ये कपड़े आगे जांच के लिए जाएंगे. सुरजीत, तुम इनके कपड़े उतारने में मदद करोगी और ये सारे कपड़े हैं संभाल के रखोगी और इसको एक गाउन दो पहनने के लिए. ले जाओ तुम इन्हें.
The victim's clothes must be carefully collected and placed in the evidence bag labeled Step 3, Outer Clothing. The underclothing is kept separate from the outer clothing to prevent contamination. Prior to the examination, take 2 steps. Remove a chocolate agar plate from the refrigerator and allow it to come to room temperature. This would help the process of obtaining reliable culturing. Second, prepare the slides that will be required to be used in Step 9. This will save time when the speculum is in the vagina. Finally, prior to beginning the examination, the appropriate size speculum should be chosen.